Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video, and today I will be reacting to what's the most difficult place to get to in the world. Before we jump into the video, let's give a shout out to the channel, Real Life Lore. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to that channel and get the bell notification on, and I encourage you guys to do the same if you enjoy this video from Real Life Lore. Real Life Lore, if you happen to see this video, please don't give me a copyright strike. I'm reacting to it because I appreciate the content that you've put together, and as an added thank you, I will be featuring you on one of my websites, allaboutthelife.com. So I will feature your full-length video that I'm reacting to on this website, as well as my personal reaction video to your video on this website, in the hopes that it will gain you a little extra exposure as a thank you for doing a reaction to your video. With that being said, let's get into the video. And actually, just wanted to point out that this video is from March of 2017. So keep that in mind when we watch this, that some of this stuff could potentially be outdated by this point. But considering the title is what's the most difficult place to get to in the world, I doubt it's changed too much in the last handful of years. So here we go.
This is a video by Real Life Lore, sponsored by the Great Courses Plus. It may be easy to believe that anywhere in the world can be reached with a simple plane flight and maybe an Uber with some added walking in between. It's 2017 after all, so surely if you want to go somewhere you can get there in a reasonable amount of time, right? The truth is, there are still some shockingly difficult and remote places to get to in the world, and there are still...
I like how almost all of Australia had a blacked out question mark section in the whole center.
Some places that nobody in all of human history has ever been to yet. The question is, where's the most difficult place that you can possibly get to in the world, and how can you get there if you stop watching this video now and set off on your journey? Let's start with how far we've come. This is a map from 1914 that details travel times around the world if you started in London. Back then, most of Europe could be reached in under 5 days travel time, while more remote parts of Scandinavia and Russia would take 5 to 10 days. Getting to San Francisco could have taken up to 20 days, Sydney could have taken up to 40 days, and there were parts on every continent except for Europe that would have still taken months to actually get to. Today, however, the travel times are absurdly lower. All of Europe can be reached in under half a day, as well as large parts of
From 40 days to half a day. That's insane.
America, Africa, and Asia. The journey to San Francisco that would have taken 20 days 100 years ago now takes only half a day. The journey to Sydney that would have taken 40 days now takes just about 1 day. Much of the world has been open.
We take these things for granted, like especially if you travel a lot, whether it's for personal or business, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're so connected, not just online and through our phones and the internet, but I mean, you literally hop on a plane and go halfway around the world in the same day. It's just insane.
Rapid transportation thanks to modern air travel, but there are still a few places that haven't kept up with the rest of the world. Take Pitcairn Island, for example, a UK overseas territory in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that is home to a mere 49 people that is hundreds of kilometers away from the...
You can't even tell it's there. And 49 people, that's like my gym class in high school. Actually, my gym class had it was like 6 or 8 classes all together. It was probably like 200 or 300 people. And they've only got 49 on the whole island.
The nearest other inhabited island. If you want to move here, they'll actually give you a free plot of land to build your house on, and temperatures remain tropical year-round. But there's no airport on the island, so transportation with the outside world is done only by boats, and they rarely visit. So, the best way that I've found to get there from London is as follows. You would first have to get a flight from London to Los Angeles, and then take a connecting flight from there to Tahiti. That journey would take about 24 hours, but then you would need to take a flight from Tahiti to another island named Mangareva, which only happens once every week and would take another 5 hours and 30 minutes. This is the closest airport to Pitcairn, and it's still 531 kilometers away. The only boat that travels to Pitcairn regularly with supplies is located here, but it only leaves once every 3 months to visit. If you're lucky enough and manage to get on the boat, it's another 32 hours of sailing before you finally arrive at Pitcairn, for a total trip time of about 2.5 days from London at the bare minimum.
Wow, that's amazing. So like, I guess everything you need is able to be harvested from the island itself, because I mean, there's probably some stuff I'm guessing that's shipped in, and then I wonder like electricity and water, utilities basically, and I imagine there's probably no internet or any sort of coverage out this far. Maybe they'll talk about that, I don't know.
That's difficult, but then there's these islands named the Kerguelen Islands, also known by their ominous name of the Desolation.
So if anybody knows of a video that's specifically about the Kerguelen Islands that I could react to, please tell me in the comments so I can go check that video out. And any of these locations that he's about to go over, if there's in-depth videos about these locations, I'm going to look for them too, but if you find them or you're familiar with them, comment below with the link so I can go do reactions to those, because I'm actually kind of enjoying this.
Islands. Located in the remote Indian Ocean, they're 3,300 kilometers away from the closest other population center in Madagascar. There are around 50 to 100 French scientists on the island at all times, but like Pitcairn, there is no airport, so transportation is done only by ships. They are visited by only one supply and transport ship every 3 months that leaves from Reunion Island near...
If it's mostly inhabited by scientists, it makes me curious to know what kind of stuff they're working on out there.
Madagascar. So first you would need to arrive on that island somehow, and then get on the 6-day boat journey to the Desolation Islands. It would take a minimum of about 1 full week to get to the islands from London, but there's an even greater challenge to do once you're there. The tallest mountain on the island is 1,850 meters high, and the first person to ever reach the top of it was some guy who flew up in a helicopter in 1960. Hardly anybody has ever been there ever since, because it's one of the most remote mountain summits in the world, which means that it's likely one of the most difficult places to get to on Earth. But there are some other mountains which are significantly more difficult to reach than this. Take Mount Sidley, for example, which is the tallest volcano in Antarctica. Antarctica is already difficult enough to get to with no regularly scheduled flights from anywhere in the world, but the volcano is located in the most remote part of Antarctica known as Mary Bird Land, a place so vast and remote that no sovereign country in the world currently claims it. It's basically like being on the moon here, and the volcano is 4,285 meters high. It wasn't even discovered until 1934, and nobody had ever climbed to the top of it until 1990.
Some of these statistics are amazing to me, and then like the discoverability of like when they discovered it. You kind of always assume that like by now everything's been discovered, but as we're finding out, some of this stuff was only recently discovered, and from what he was saying in the beginning of the intro of the video, there's some areas that have yet to be reached at all, so I'm looking forward to seeing what those places are.
And ever since then, only 2 expeditions have ever successfully made it to the top, most recently in 2010, which makes the summit of Mount Sidley an elusive place that very few people have ever or will ever be to. The summit of Mount Everest on the Nepal-China border is the highest summit on Earth and is obviously very difficult to get to. It's 8,848 meters to the top and has been successfully reached by only around 4,000 people through history, which is fewer people than have ever won a Grammy. But 223 people have died while attempting to climb as well, which means that out of everybody who has ever tried climbing to the top, about 1 out of every 20 of them has died trying. That sounds very dangerous and difficult, of course, but then we move on to another mountain named K2, which is the second tallest mountain in the world, but is far more difficult to climb. Only around 300 people have ever successfully made it to the top, while 77 people have died trying, which means that about 1 in every 5 people...
I'm all about being passionate about your hobby or what you love to do, but not when it's like life risking like this. It's kind of crazy. Like if you told me there was a risk of me endangering myself physically every time I made another YouTube video or took another photo, 2 of my biggest hobbies, I probably wouldn't do it as much as I do. I know it's completely different from climbing a mountain, but just using it as an analogy.
Who has ever tried getting there has died while trying. Nobody has ever successfully gotten there during the winter, and K2 is nicknamed the Savage Mountain because of its extreme difficulty in climbing. The summit here is a good contender for the most difficult place to get to, but another mountain in the Himalayas named Annapurna is even more dangerous. It's the 10th highest mountain in the world, but has only ever been successfully climbed by 191 people, while 61 other people have died while trying. Which means that about 1 out of every 4 people who has ever tried reaching the summit has died while trying to do so. In terms of your odds for survival getting somewhere, this mountain summit may truly be the most difficult place on Earth for you to get to, but there are still other summits on other mountains that have still never been reached by anybody. This is Gangkhar Puensum, the tallest unclimbed mountain in the world at 7,570 meters tall. Nobody in history has ever been at this point right here, and nobody probably will be for a very long time. The mountain is located in Bhutan, and Bhutan has banned any climbing of it for religious reasons. So not only is getting to the top physically challenging, but it's also legally impossible. So what about a mountain that's legally okay to climb that has never been reached? The tallest summit in this category would be Muchu Chahish in Pakistan at 7,453 meters high, an incredibly demanding mountain that's only ever been attempted to be climbed twice in recorded history. If you're looking for the most difficult place on Earth to get to that is legal for you to try, the answer is probably this summit right here.
So I liked the intro of this video where it was all these difficult places to get to, but it seems like it's now kind of evolved to just a bunch of tall mountains, which is interesting, but not as interesting as the first half of the video. So forgive my less than enthusiastic look on some of these parts. It's still interesting to learn about, but it's not as exciting as these remote islands and things like that.
Place that no human has ever set foot on in all of history, until maybe you end this video and try so yourself. We as a species have been to both the moon and the deepest part of the ocean, but there are still several dozen mountains around the world whose summits have never yet been reached by anybody, making them possibly the most difficult places to get to on our entire planet. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'd like to give a tremendous amount of thanks to my incredible sponsor, The Great Courses Plus. The Great Courses Plus is a subscription on-demand video learning service where you can subscribe to and watch unlimited top-notch courses that are taught by brilliant Ivy League professors, as well as experts from National Geographic, the Smithsonian, the Culinary Institute of America, and hundreds of other extremely qualified individuals. They offer an unlimited access to thousands of different lectures over pretty much anything that you could possibly ever be interested in. If you enjoyed the video that you just watched, then I would strongly recommend their course titled The World's Greatest Geological Wonders, which includes lectures on the Himalaya Mountains, Antarctica, and other extremely difficult but fascinating places. It's a truly great subject to learn about and helped out a lot with the research that I conducted for this video. You can watch these or hundreds of other courses completely for free when you sign up for a 30-day free trial using the link that's on your screen now, www.thegreatcoursesplus.com/reallifelore, or you can click on the link in the description. If you enjoyed the video that you just watched, then I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel by clicking here. You can visit my Patreon by clicking here, watch some older videos of mine by clicking over here on the left.
You guys go show him some support. This was an interesting video. So yeah, I enjoyed like I said, the earlier part of the video. The second half was not as interesting. I mean, it was cool because it's like all these mountains, but I just really like the island part better. Completely and totally off subject, but I've recently gotten into Clubhouse, the new app. It's currently it's an iPhone only app, and I don't even have an iPhone, so I've been using my iPad to utilize this app. But if you guys aren't familiar with it, go check it out. This isn't sponsored or anything, but go check out the Clubhouse app and go follow me. It's just my first and last name, so at Melvin Maya, which is pretty much my tag on just about every social media. I'm currently only sitting at like maybe 10 or 12 people following me there. And it's kind of hard to go in depth in explaining what the app is all about. But if I can get to, let's say like 500 followers on there, then maybe I'll start hosting some of my own Clubhouse rooms. and be able to engage with you guys and talk to you and do Q&A and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like a live chat room. There's no video aspect of it. It's all audio. And, you know, I can create a panel of myself or myself with like 5 people or whatever. And we just discuss things. And then if people want to jump into the conversation, they click a little button, so they wave. And then I would be able to essentially invite them into the conversation, answer any questions, and so on. So go check out Clubhouse. And if you are able to get into it, because it is currently an invitation only, but still go sign up. I signed up and then somebody randomly approved me, so I was able to get in without the official invitation. But go sign up, and if you get into the app, follow me at Melvin Maya. If you have some suggestions of other content, other videos that I can react to, please tell me in the comments below. I am running out of stuff to do reactions to, and I can go search for stuff, and I often find things on my own, but it seems to be that like the really good stuff is the stuff that's sent to me. So if you guys know some obscure videos, some funny videos, some interesting videos, travel stuff, cultural stuff about other countries, as long as it's something that is intriguing or entertaining, I'll do a reaction to it. So send it my way. If you are new to my channel and you like this video, please subscribe and click the little bell icon so that you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video, Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram. Talk about it on Clubhouse. But yeah, I don't care where, just share. And I will see you guys on the next video. Later.